use anybody's tools, remember this is for anybody's tools. If you use a horn and light ever in any utility, a battery test, you always get out in the field, you're going to do a battery test. You want to, if it's a horn and light, you want to see and hear. If you do not see and you do not hear, then all you need to do is take a good known working battery, take off the quick change on your analog tools, take off that quick change or your PD25, tap out the battery, put a new one in, check it again, check your battery voltage again. If you see and hear, then you're good. If you don't, then send it in for repair. It's broken. The battery is obviously good. You just replace it, send it in for repair. But don't send it in for repair before you check the battery. We get a lot of tools that come in us because they're not working and the battery's dead. Then we got to charge them. It's horrible. All right, your analog tools. What you're going to do on your battery test, you could have a push button on some manufacturers' tools, or we have the switch plate on all of our tools. All right, either one is battery test. The battery test, you want to see a deflection on an analog tool all the way. Nice, good deflection all the way. If you don't see that, or if it's just partial, again, put a new battery in it, recheck it. If you still don't, the tool's broke, ship it to us, we'll fix it. Maybe put a new battery in it for you and send it back. All right, so always do the battery test. Digital, they give you more information. I prefer digital. There's no moving parts. They're more robust. They can take a lot more beaten up. And you're simply going to look at the battery voltage itself. Like your PD25. The PD25 gives you that battery voltage. Okay? Did that do it? There you go, 7.2. If you get 7.0, replace the battery. Our operating instructions say on your PD25, 8 volts or less, change it out. Just white it out and go down to 7. All right, 7.2, that's fine, replace, that's close enough to 7. Okay, you can use it longer than just 8 volts. All right, I've gone to a lot of utilities to where they were training their linemen, the work methods, they were training their linemen that little push button was a true tool functionality test. And it's not on anybody's tools or the selector switch. It just tests the battery. You always need a live known voltage source to properly test your tool to see if it's working. You're going to use it on a live known voltage source, so it makes sense to test it on a live known voltage source prior to use to make sure it's working on a live known voltage source. All right? There is no transformer inside anybody's tools stepping up 9 volts to high voltage to test your tool on a live known voltage source. Okay? That makes sense. All right. Caring for your tools, you're going to want to make sure that your probes are clean. You don't want to see any grease, any dirt, any calibration stickers. I've seen all that. Hot stick wipes are great. Use hot stick wipes on your tools. Keep them clean. If you got a truck number or you want to put your own little special whatever on your tool, do it on the housing. Okay, the components inside which makes the tool work, they're conductive, so it's okay. The probe you want to keep clean and protected. You're always going to use the proper accessory, whether it's a straight probe, hook probe, or if you got some feed-throughs, a bushing adapter. If you have any of the old clear plastic bushing adapters, you need to throw them away, chunk them. That's a word I learned when I moved from Arizona to South Carolina. Chunk it. Okay, it's one word, chunk it. It means throw it away. Okay, so if you need to use the proper accessory on the cone tip, do not use just the cone tip. You can, because it's obviously conductive, but don't do that. That's a shortcut. All right, don't do that. If you see somebody taking a shortcut, you need to stop and educate them. Okay, stop the job. Seriously, stop the job. Disengage from your location as far as your components, your equipment, and have a discussion. All right? You always need to know, every one of you all are super important. Every one of you all are really great people, and you have a lot of purpose, and you're going to influence a lot of folks in your lifetime. And that's a fact. That is true. And if you believe anything else other than that, that's not true. The fact is you're here for a reason, and that's for each other. We all, and as linemen, line workers, y'all need to know that whatever you do, and this is what we do right here, we all complete each other. Me being here, I'm helping complete your life. Us being together, you being here with me, you guys also, and gals, you help complete my life. When we're out in the field, that's how it is. You don't have to like each other at all. Maybe I say a lot of words you don't like to hear. Maybe I got all the tats and piercings, and maybe that bothers you. Okay? So what? If you're working the line, you have an oath just because that's your job, and that oath is your brothers and sisters' keeper. You don't have to like each other, but that oath is an oath that you take on when you take the responsibility of being a lineman. Okay? All right. So, what is important and to always remember is there's a line limit right here. This line limit is about 2.5 inches down. In 2009, ASTM said you got to put a line limit here. This line limit reminds you, okay, maybe for the first time, this reminds you that this is where the resistors are in your tool. All right? The resistors are what protects the tool from the primary power, that primary right here. It also protects the tool and ultimately you behind the tool. Does that make sense? That's where the resistors are. So because those resistors are there, you do not want to bypass those resistors. Always remember this, guys. You do not want to bypass those resistors with a potential ground plane or another hot phase. Over the top, around the bottom, to the sides. All right? So you're going to create, here's your other best friend. You're going to create two best friends. The second best friend that you're going to always keep and remember is air dielectric. Always take care of her, your air dielectric. Because in order for the tools to look at voltage and give you a voltage to verify in phase, out of phase, or whatever, the tool must be energized functionally so in order to give you that information, correct? Does it have to be energized? Yeah. Yeah. Not with the primary power, thank goodness, because we got resistors right here, about 25 mega ohms of resistance in your tools, all right? It's PD25 in your analog. But it's still energized. There's some voltage, and we're going to prove that today on anybody's tool. All right, so you're going to keep an air dielectric.